Hey guys, this is Spartacus here and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be about the piercing vision perk in Vanguard's multiplayer because there's definitely some people out there that think this is really annoying when enemies are using them against you, and we'll definitely get into that a little bit later. And even though in the gameplay I am using the piercing vision perk to kind of show it off, I don't think I represent it very well in this gameplay. It's a little boring because I'm trying to get long shot kills, so therefore I'm trying to like play slow and just, I guess, more tactically, and if you could call it that. But either way, I do apologize for the gameplay not really showing off the piercing vision too much. I definitely need to record some new gameplay. I'm a little bit lackey on that right now. But going back to the piercing vision perk, what do I think about this perk? You know, I don't see a huge uproar in the community saying that people don't like piercing vision, and I think there's a few different reasons why, you know, not a lot of people are upset with the perk, because there is a counter to this perk, which we'll talk about in a second. But first, I want to read the description that piercing vision says here in game. It says, sufficiently suppressed targets will be highlighted for a short time, rendering them visible through walls and obscuring effects, meaning that you could be shooting at an enemy and none of your shots are, you're not getting any hit markers at all, you're just shooting relatively around the enemy, and then that enemy goes behind some sort of object, then their body parts will basically glow through that object, giving you an idea exactly where they're located behind cover, which is pretty much the whole point of this perk, right? I'm sure all of you are already aware of that, but the thing is, you don't actually have to be hitting your targets for them to be highlighted. You know, they are highlighted because you're shooting around them. And the counter to this perk is Dauntless. And so even though in game the description of Dauntless doesn't say that you're immune to piercing vision, it does actually help you out, which is good, because in my opinion, the most people you'll see running piercing vision is in the ship house 24/7 playlist. That is the #1 spot where I always see everybody use it, and maybe that's why there's some players who are upset with the perk, because it seems like they're always dying to users who are using piercing vision, understanding where they're like running and stuff like that if they get away from them. And the thing is, like, you're probably playing the ship house playlist because they're small maps. It's going to be very fast paced. Doesn't matter what, I guess, tactical like tight pacing you're doing, or combat pacing is what it's called in the game. Like, it doesn't matter because everyone's always going to be using it in the ship house playlist because there's small maps, there's a lot of materials you can shoot through, and that's why everybody's running it. And I know a lot of people strictly play the ship house 24/7 playlist. They don't play the other maps, which I think we're a little bit spoiled on. And if you're someone who mostly just plays the ship house 24/7 playlist, then just run Dauntless, because it is a counter to piercing vision, and there really isn't a whole lot of other perk 1 categories that are really going to help you out while playing the ship house 24/7 playlist, because how small those maps are and how chaotic they are. There's usually like lots of explosions going on, everybody's like shooting at each other constantly, you're always hearing gunfire, and so the ninja perk I think is useless when trying to sneak up and trying to flank enemies. First of all, it's like really hard to flank anyway, and two, there's a bunch of noise going on, so people aren't going to hear your footsteps anyway. At least it's going to be pretty rare that they do. And then with Ghost, I don't think it's going to matter either. Like, sure, it can be really beneficial because there are constant UAVs and people use running intel all the time, and so Ghost can be helpful, but you know, with so much chaos going on, I don't even think it's worth looking at your minimap as much as you should. And so, you know, I just don't really see the point of running Ghost either on this playlist, so I recommend just using Dauntless if piercing vision is really annoying you. And this is something that I really don't do for myself, because personally I've noticed I've been running up against a lot of piercing vision users, and it can be a little bit annoying at times, I will admit, but you know, for the most part they don't really wallbang me. I'm usually pretty good about getting away from enemies once I see that little thing pop up and they can see where I'm going, and maybe I can use that to my advantage to try and flank enemies in a different way and not have them expect it. So, you know, it's just something we're gonna have to deal with for now. I mean, they could maybe, like, you know, nerf it a little bit to where that you're highlighted for even a shorter amount of time possibly, but if I am being completely honest with you, I wish they would have just took the perk we see within Warzone, where when you hit enemies they become highlighted, whereas in this you only have to suppress an enemy to highlight them. I think I'd prefer if they actually hit you with a bullet to get you highlighted. It just makes more sense in my opinion, and I think the perk will become a little bit more fair in that sense. But either way, I don't think this is going to be a huge issue later on in Vanguard, but it could be, you know, it very well could be. And so even though I think they should definitely update the description for Dauntless, letting us know that that's how you're also immune to piercing vision, but I mean, there's so many other problems with this game. I think that's the last thing that on their list to probably put into the game and update it. But either way, I think there is definitely a lot lot of other bugs and glitches in this game that are much more severe than the piercing vision perk. Like, for example, the mortar barrage is the most annoying kill streak I've ever seen in a Call of Duty game, and then it also doesn't help that the right shield glitch is still in the game, giving players more health than usual, which is so ridiculous. I hate that so much. But anyway, yeah, there's definitely a lot of other problems that I think piercing vision is not one that needs to be focused on right now, if it does eventually become a problem later in the game. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like if you did, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Call of Duty videos every single day, and follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with me outside of YouTube, and I shall catch you guys later.